It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning. You're listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Hey, happy Saturday. What up, dough to everybody? What's happening? Got the ladies back here. They looking all fresh and vibrant. Y'all gonna see this behind the scenes this time, boy. Look at them all shining, jumping in and out of planes on different beaches and carrying on, praising God in different states.
See all of this.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see,
what's
y'all
up?
can see what's happening in the studio.
Hey, what y'all talking about? What them vacations looking like, man? Y'all done brought the sunshine back with you. Ain't been nothing but rain in Michigan.
She didn't take a breath in between that?
Not one breath.
I'm just so excited to see y'all, man. I'm just
not one breath. You know, I went to Jamaica.
Come on for that birthday.
Rude girl status.
You know how when you go on vacation, you think about things. You think about, you think about your short-term goals. Did you accomplish it? You think about those long-term goals, and then when you come back, you ready to hit it.
Yeah.
So the queen is ready to hit it. My energy is up. Everything in my life is up. Nobody gonna bring the queen down. Nobody.
Y'all heard it first right here. Ain't nobody gonna bring the queen
she
down.
Live and active too.
Live and ready to go.
I mean, y'all should just see. Just see old Sister Bahama Mama in here with the orange nails.
You know what? Let's take off this old stuff here. You didn't call me on Facebook. You didn't call me your seasoned sister. Let's get this,
Y'all are seasoned. Y'all the oldest.
You know
right.
what?
But
do y'all see what I got to live with up in here?
Y'all the oldest.
He look old as we do because we look young as he look in the face than he does.
Well, hold on. Why I got to be put in the middle of this?
Because I'm about to start jumping some flights too.
I was minding my own business. I ain't had nothing to do with nothing.
Listen. The fact that you've been on 5 different states and preaching all over the country, I mean, that's why you're a little ease right now.
Chicago, down south.
Y'all better get y'all one of these, a first class seat.
Listen. Oh, my goodness. Listen, some of you, look, I don't know, you took it on the road.
Yeah.
Some of these pastors better be nervous because I'm starting to challenge some things now.
No, pastors don't have to be nervous.
They need to be nervous.
They don't have to be nervous?
No, for what?
Man, you been spreading that word. Man, you know how many fights you took? How many lives you blessed?
Listen.
In just a week and a half?
Listen, God is good.
Some of these pastors don't even move the pulpit, but I'm okay.
Oh, well,
I ain't gonna get on that now.
They say even pastors don't move the pulpit.
He said some
Thank
of
God
them
it's
don't.
Saturday morning.
Yes.
For people that are Seventh-day Adventists, it's a happy Saturday morning to them.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
people
for
that
sure.
are Baptists or whatever, whatever... what do you call it? Help me out.
Denomination.
Whatever denomination you are, you go to church on Sunday, but it is Saturday morning. So happy Saturday morning to everyone.
Yes.
Super excited to be here. We are in the studio this morning, and
Yes.
our word of the day
Let's
or
get
our
it.
word of the week is goals.
Yeah.
It's
love
goals.
that.
I started out by saying, when I was on my vacation, I thought about my short-term goals. Did I accomplish them? And my long-term goals.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to go on vacation? And then I'm asking myself, why do you have to go on vacation and think about, did you accomplish your goals? Why do you got it? Why do you have to do that? Why you just can't? I have them up on my wall, right? On a yellow sheet of paper, my short-term goals and my long-term goals, right? Yeah. And I get a little upset with myself when I don't accomplish that short-term goal. And I say, you know what? How about, give myself another 90 days or another 60 days.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do realize that when you're on vacation, you got a lot of idle time, so you get to sit and think more. And so now you're thinking like, what is it that I could be doing? What have I done? So you do some self-evaluations. But the reality of it is that we don't sit still enough to really notice what we're accomplishing. So goals, they can be, like you said, short-term or long-term. But goals can also be daily goals. Like, can I get this task done today? So sometimes we put more pressure on ourselves to accomplish goals than we should. So we really should take it one day at a time. And sometimes you have to take it 1 hour at a time. But the reality is that if you make a goal and you stick to it, it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get it done. Just get it done.
Man.
Just get it done.
Listen, I like it when you express with those daily goals.
Yeah.
I really had to break down my goals. I always was so used to like the 5-year, 10-year, right?
Yeah.
You writing down the plans, and then specifically, just for the benefit of small wins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand the benefit of small wins, and so when I started putting some weekly goals in there, I wasn't as frustrated as when I didn't reach the goal I set for like 30 days. And so for that weekly, I'm glad you brought that up. So for like weekly, when I got Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then sometimes you can have a daily, like just, hey, by 12 o'clock, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know, I pushed my days at 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 getting up. It gave me an extension to my day. And so I said by 1 o'clock, I want to be able to be finished with all my written work, all the things that I have to write down, things that I have to put to plan. And so it makes me feel good when I finish those daily goals, hourly goals, but it really brings the long-term goals into perspective. So thanks for bringing that up. And goals, man, listen, write it down, make it plain. And that's what the word says.
Yeah, write it up on the tablet. So here's the thing, when we put things on paper and place it before us, so like Regina talked about having her goals on the wall, I'm an avid believer that when you write something down and put it in front of you, keep it before your eyes, now you can continue to look and see, hey, I need to be working on this, that, or thus. We perish for lack of knowledge. We know that. But we also, when we don't put goals down and work towards goals, we just moving along in life. We're just moving along.
But when we move along in life and we don't write it down, I'm just gonna tell you this. What I find myself is, even though I have my short-term goals and my long-term goals, you know, I do my daily things that I want to accomplish, right? But I am more in tune into like how many videos I'm gonna do a day, how many customers I'm gonna call, you know, always on the grind. And when I don't get something done, I'm trying to go harder the next day. Or I'm trying to figure out how I can get to my next goal. So with me is, I'm just, my mind is constantly racing. That's probably why when I try to go to sleep, when it's 11 o'clock or 11:30, I can't go to sleep because I'm thinking about the next day. Or I'm thinking about something that I didn't accomplish, right?
So that's why you need those vacations.
So
because you're not allowing yourself the adequate rest. You don't allow your brain to rest.
But what I do is, you know, we got back that Friday, you know, got in at 2 a.m. in the morning. By the time I got home, my driver picked me up, and I went to work the next day. Why?
The same day.
Right, the same day. I'm sorry, the same. And the reason I went to work the same day is because when you're in sales, you constantly got to be working. But I'm so blessed now is that I have a coworker, I call her my little sis, that actually took care of my customers for me.
That's good.
And so that made me at ease. So if you think you're going to miss out on something, you're not going to be there, then come up with a plan so you won't worry about that money that you're going to miss or things that you're going to miss. So come up with a plan. And that's all a part of goals, right?
Well, that's
Put
good.
things in place.
That's good. So, you know, even today's show, how we're going to talk about different things, and all of it really aligns with goals, right? And so, to me, we're talking about writing goals down and moving towards goals, but when we're not moving at all, we're being stagnant. So, writing a goal down is just one thing, but putting some action to it is another. Writing a goal down and not putting action is just writing things on paper. It's an ideal. But when you begin to put some action to it, now you're putting it in motion so that it can come to pass.
And one thing about writing your goals, and I'm coming to find this out too, and being prepared for meetings and when you strategizing and how God is using you in multiple places, the people who are, let's just say, there to test you, test your barriers. You know, some people identify them as haters, some people identify them as enemies. I just say they're just testers. They're there to make sure that whatever God is preparing you for is accurate. Their only job is to be intentional and to distracting you. But when you writing down your goals and you on top of your game and you just there, when I walk into a meeting, I'm so focused, man, like on my Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? Like it is just unmatched. And all the things that people try to come at you in that particular meeting to distract you, deter you, get you to go on a side, knowing well that you have the plan, knowing well that, you know, your ideal is the best idea, they still got to do their job. But when you write that goal down and you focus, I come in with I got the black book. I'm back to the black book and the pen now. And I open it up and I'm working my strategy and I'm reading the strategy. I see the goals that need to be set. That meeting that would have took 3 hours, only 45 minutes. And I'm telling you, it just runs a whole different table around people who, you know what I'm saying, are in no competition with you or are not in the same league with you. So those goals and writing them down and making them plain is so important. And all those aspects to me.
But I want us to also think about, goals are important, but allow yourself to allow your goals to change. Sometimes we may have goals today that we want to accomplish, but as we go forth, we realize that that's no longer a goal. Every ideal is just that, an ideal, but it does not necessarily have to be played out or as a goal. And so you have to know, is this goal achievable? Can I do it? What's the steps I need to take to accomplish a goal? And you have to be realistic. All goals we come up with are not realistic goals. So you have to make sure that the goal is realistic. I mean, I speak over myself. I am a millionaire. I walk in millions, but the reality of it is you're going to have to do some work to get it. It's not going to fall out of the sky. So be realistic in your goals.
I think what a lot of times people got to realize is that even myself is when it comes to goals, you have to realize you can't get it by yourself. Mm-hmm. You got to have a team. You got to have a behind the team. You got to have a team whatever you do. We're born by ourselves, right?
Yes, that's
Even
right.
though with our parents, help us get here, right? Because they made us, right?
That's right.
But we die by ourselves. But while we're on here on earth, we got to understand it's a team.
Yeah. There's no I in team, right? And no man is an island.
Right.
So we all need one another, right? But the reality of it is that every person that's with you does not have the same idea, same mindset. So you have to make sure that you have some like-minded individuals with you to accomplish the goal. Because some people are sent on assignment to help hinder the goal.
Well, but and I'm asking Gil, Trust the Process, and Dr. T, how do you find that person that's like-minded like you? Or why do you have to go through so many people to get that right person on your team? Because sometimes how I feel is like, am I just doing this by myself? When I'm at work, I'm like, are we in here together? You got the dealership. I sell a car. You got to take it to finance, right? First of all, you can't sell a car without having a customer. That's why I'm always working. Okay, so you got salesperson, myself. You got the finance team. Okay, then you got the used car manager, new car manager. So everybody has to work together. Then when it goes into the office, you got the biller that got to type the paperwork. Everybody got to get along. Personalities everything got to work out and come together, right? Because the goal is, if we don't sell a car, the dealership doesn't make any money.
Right.
And then I don't get a paycheck, or I don't get to eat, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say I don't get to eat. Don't let me claim that. But I'm just saying, though, we all have to work together. And sometimes we got to go through so many people, or we don't have the right people with us to make things happen. Help me out. I'm closing this one out.
I think what I found out about like-mindedness is it's not almost like you almost have to agree. It's not like always like-mindedness is in how you carry yourself, the precedents, who you are, the ethics, your mindset of preparation. Like, you got to have people on your team that if you're a go-getter, they're a go-getter. Doesn't mean that y'all all going to go or choose to go in this specific direction, but if you're the leader and you know they're a go-getter, you can speak to them. Like, and I'll just use me for a perfect example, right? Like, when I was able to join this team, it wasn't just by, the fact of all the things that I can bring to the table and things of that nature. The other part of it was the aspect of that, hey, your vision has to change. Like, you have to be a person of saying that, hey, I'm going long. You know what I'm saying? No more short thought. And when I say short thought was, y'all think long ball. Y'all claiming it. Every day, all day, not just when we on the air. You know what I'm saying? People don't have the benefit of knowing y'all personally. I do, right? So when I hear y'all talking in your own lives and seeing what y'all own do, that motivated me to, even before I even got married, to just be like, no, this is what it is. This is how it's going to turn out. And if it don't, I have the like mind to pivot.
Yeah.
And so that's what being a part of that team. And I think it takes a while, because sometimes we thinking it's going to be a person that really thinks like us, per se that should be on the team. But I think when God is orchestrating a thing and he's moving a thing, he has to prepare each gear to turn with each gear, but then yet know that all the gears turn the same.
Yeah.
And be honest and open in that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, I can't tell you how much y'all blessed me in other areas of my life just by coming in, pushing me to say, okay, Gil, no, you can come and do a setup. You can come and have this conversation. You can multitask. Like you confirmed, just being with y'all confirmed a lot of things that I'm doing on a state and national level that I didn't think that I can do before I came here.
That's good. That's good. And so when you talk about like-mindedness, so that sums it up. Like-mindedness doesn't necessarily mean that we're all going to think the same, but it means that we are mature enough to complete assignments and move forward in things without walking in our feelings. See, oftentimes we walk in our feelings. So the Bible tells us that we walk by faith and not by sight, but oftentimes we walk in by feelings because of what we see. And so when you have like-minded people coming together, you have individuals who are different that come and yield their supply to make it work together. And just because we're different, it doesn't mean that you're better or I'm better. It just means that we're different. But what can we bring to the table to make it work? And
Dr. T, you said something. It's not gender specific either.
That's correct.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, again, I got to use me as an example. Y'all are extremely strong women. Right? So when I walk into a room and a woman is being emotional because of some things that may have went on prior to, it is hard for me to accept from her the emotional part because it's like my sisters handle business even in their emotions. So when I walk into a room,
it get real though.
It does get real. It get real. But I'm just saying, the business gets handled.
Yeah.
So my expectation when I walk into the room and somebody says, "Hey, I'm the powerful woman." Hey, they making all these claims, and it's like when I get ready to say, "Okay, well, let's do this deal." And you get to acting all emotional, and I'm like, nah, my sisters don't get down like that. So I'm not, you not who you say you are.
We
so,
atmosphere shifters.
You know what I mean?
We come in the atmosphere shift. Okay.
You know what I mean?
We come in to do business. So I think that's a part of like-mindedness too. You have to be confident in your skin. You have to be confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. And so you can't hover down and run when situations get thick and heavy. So we've had some thick and heavy situations, but the reality is after we do this business, we still family. And so like-mindedness is, again, not walking in feelings. You're not walking in your feelings. You're handling business and you're moving forward. We're mature enough to do that.
Man, let me tell y'all something. Saturday, sun shining, everything is rocking. Goals, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm excited about what's going to happen on this show.
Me too.
Tune in, get your paper, get your pop, and it started out early. I don't know what else to tell you, but make sure the volume is up. Make sure you got your notes. Because we going in this Saturday morning, and don't forget to like and share, subscribe to all the bid platforms, because that's where you're gonna see this behind the scene content and making sure that, you know, your goals is being set as well. So what y'all got for us today, ladies?
So, you know what, I want to say something before we take a quick break here about something you said and, of course, what you said, Dr. T, so Gil and Dr. T. So we talked about walking by faith. What was that? Walking by faith and not by feelings. So let me just tell you this. I gotta put my video on for this one. Hold on 1 second, because we have to do the video.
So, I wish I could see it.
I wish y'all could see her right now.
We talked about walking by faith
and not by feelings.
Not by feelings. So Dr. T has taught me so much. Me and Dr. T have history for years. She's always bought cars for me, right? Leased cars for me over the years, right? Had no idea that she would be this close to me in my life, right? But God put her in her life. She put her close to me for a reason. She's taught me how to walk, not by what?
Feelings.
But
by faith.
And by faith. Yeah. It's because I would be so quick to be mad as all outdoors.
Fly off the handle.
Because something happened. So I was walking with my feelings. Yes, the queen was walking with her feelings, because the way I think and the way I process things, I think people should process the things the same way I process it, right? But through God, God put Dr. T in my life, closer in my life, to make me realize that I need to walk not by faith and not my feelings. And honestly, that has made me a better queen, a better person, because I am walking by faith.
That's good.
Because I would be off the handle. You might not see it in my face, but I'd be like, what the world? Why are you doing this? Or, why? And yes, I'm in the people business when it comes to putting customers in cars, but your feelings only go, your patience, not just your patience only goes so far, right? So I have to constantly tell myself, walk by faith, queen, walk by faith. And then, just going to put a little bit, I'm done with that part, put a little bit about what Gil said. So I did learn this, and I had to learn this probably about 30 days ago after Gil joined us. I think it was in February, right? Was that in February when you joined us, Gil?
Yeah, that was February.
So, it was a couple people before it was one person that was in your spot before, and it was somebody else that was supposed to be in the spot, right? And it would have been 3 strong women. And 3 strong women always can't run a show or do things because that person might feel they want the spotlight more, they want this, they want that. And with this, you have to be able to share. You have to be able to understand, you know what, we all got each other back. But what I had to realize this is that we need a man on the team, right? Because us 2 strong women, another woman
needs some testosterone.
That woman would have got some profanity from the queen. They would have been. We probably wouldn't have been friends later. But when you got a man, a strong man, but knows, respects us, and we're his sister. No, that's seasoned. Don't you even try it. Okay?
I didn't say seasoned. You did.
But, right. But you're so used to doing that. But we needed the man to be in the glue. We needed that.
Amen.
We needed that structure from you, because when I'm on 20, like I was this morning for a minute, right? He was all calm. Dr. T was all calm. I'm making comments. I'm saying something like, yeah, they both ignoring me. Okay. But but sometimes that is what needs to happen. So thanking God for you because you're a male, right? You're a man. You're Gil, Garrett. And thank God for where you're going and how you think. Because you think long term. See, we can't deal with individuals that think short term. We may want things to move, but we're moving. What are we moving? How are we moving? Right? We're going to be moving mountains. You got people that's not paying attention to us right now, but they're going to look up and say, oh, wow.
Man.
What's going on? What's going on over there?
I don't know, Regina. I think you need to change your tone with that because we have a lot of people paying attention. Because shout out to my church family, the River Church, because they really support us. And we have a lot of people that from all over the world that listen to us. And I'm a firm believer that what God has for us is for us. And so it doesn't matter what the adversary does.
You see, she corrected me this morning, right? You see this, right?
The Bible says that we are victorious. We are victorious in every aspect, and no weapon. Absolutely no weapon that is formed against us shall prosper. The weapon may be formed, but it will not prosper. Well, God is who he says that he
Dr.
is.
T, okay, yes. So I know your church family listens. I get that. They, you know what? They blessed you when we at the bridal shower. You know what I mean? They're such good people. Shout out to CC Warren, CC that's getting married. Matrimony is next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday. I had to be reminded. But listen, I'm not talking about our listeners right now. I'm talking about people all over this world. I'm not talking about our supporters now because I appreciate our supporters, the people that love us, that listen to us, right? Yes. But I'm talking about people that, that we have asked to be on the show, or people it's like, we got to chase you, or we got to do this. No. I'm not a chaser. I'll ask once, I'll ask twice, but I have asked certain people, it's okay. They can't seem to get in their schedule. Or you're not returning my text. But I find when people come into the studio and they see what we're doing, they're like, oh, it's a whole different ballgame. Yeah. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. So I'm talking to the haters, and you don't call them haters. What do you call them, Dr. T?
I don't call them nothing.
You got a few words. Oh, you too kind today. She got a few titles that I just snatched from her.
Here's the thing. So I love the secret lovers. I love them.
The secret lovers.
The secret lovers. Because they secretly love us and hate us at the same time. So I really love them. So shout out to all the secret lovers.
I appreciate them.
Secret lovers.
I appreciate them.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, and we're going to be talking about the importance of knowing a person's credit score, whether you're getting married, whether you're with your loved one, but just knowing their credit score and knowing their credit situation. We'll be right back.
Hi, Joe Lunghamer here from Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans and the Queen of Community. Isn't that right, Regina?
That's right. When you buy a car from me, you get on the road in style, and you'll be enrolled in the Joe and the Queen's Community Program, where we help you work your way towards better credit.
Joe knows it's good to help our community here in Waterford and Metro Detroit.
To find me, Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
So, Dr. T and Gil, this segment, I really want us to focus on, I came up with this part of the segment because of too many times people come in a dealership and they're looking for a vehicle and they're married, they just got married, or maybe they've been married for 5 years or 10 years. Doesn't matter how long, but they don't know, they're not thinking about the importance of knowing a person's credit score. Mm-hmm. Whether it's, your your spouse, your husband, your wife, your significant other, your friend, anybody that you're in a relationship with, a serious relationship that you're thinking about getting married, or you just want to be one. My thoughts are, you need to know their credit score. Now, does that mean that you love them any differently? No. But you need to know what you're working with.
That's true.
And I wanted to get you all perspective on that on today's time, right? Because I know that, Dr. T, you've been married for what? How long?
27 years. Shout out to Frederick Moore.
So, and I know, Gil, you've been with your wife for years, but you guys just recently got married, right?
Correct.
So I want your perspective on that. I want to give mine, but I need to know your perspective is because the audience needs to know this because you need to prepare yourself for what's coming up 6 months later, for what's coming up 9 months later, and preparing for your future, just knowing what you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Well, Regina, first of all, let me say this. I wasn't really taught about credit. So when I got married, Fred and I really wasn't, that wasn't the thing. We were marrying for love, for security, and for some other things. But when the rubber met the road, when it was time to buy a house, it was difficult because your credit has to be run. And my credit wasn't as bad as his was. So, it affected us purchasing our house. And so knowing credit is important. You have to have those conversations. And oftentimes we move past the credit conversation because we may be happy or we're in love. But there's some things that you need to know about your partner, and credit is one of them. And so when you don't have good credit, it limits what you can purchase. It limits how you can move. Credit matters.
And it matters in the stream of, specifically if you do business together. Mm-hmm. Like if you have businesses, each of you have an LLC, but now you're, going to go into some joint ventures, and now you want to you get business credit and things of that nature. I've not been one who, I wasn't taught about credit. I was taught to hustle. Mm-hmm. And hustling is not credit.
That's true.
And even though you in the streets and, and when I say in the streets, it's not always just on the corner and you just nickel and dime and things of that nature. You just know how to make things move. And that's how I was taught. Some of us who listening on this call right now, some of us who are not just so new Christians and God has turned us around and did some things in our lives and got us to do a better understanding financially, God allowed us to have that moment of hustle to understand that, that's not the way the world works and that's not how he works. God works on credit. You know what I mean? So, you got to understand that as the world that he has placed us in to be a light deals in credit, you need to know exactly what that is. So I'm grateful for my wife in the aspect of she came from where she was taught credit and she was taught what it was and knew how to get her score up. And if she bought something, how to pay it down. And then over time, how to not have a certain percentage over debt to income ratio, what that should be, how to not use 30% of a credit card line. You got $5,000 on a credit card. You know where we from? We marking the whole 5,000. You know what I'm saying, to whatever we wanted it to be. But no, it's not 5,000. You just do 30% of the 5,000. Don't go over that, right? So there's little tips and things that help you get to the 800, so you're able to do that. Somebody in that relationship has to be sound on that. And if neither one of you are, right? If neither one of you are, that's okay. Get with somebody like Regina in your life and say, okay, look, Regina, it's easier to work with my wife, or it may be easier to work with, my husband first, but get somebody like Regina and the folks that you hear on this show to make sure that you start establishing some credit, because you can't and I'm not going to say this, like some people hustle all their life. I got folks on the east side, I got some of my uncles, right? They do that all their life, but nobody wants that.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Lunghamer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule the next service appointment at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Are you paying high interest rates on a car loan? Do you desire to purchase a home, but you're unable to get approved? Perhaps you're repeatedly getting denied for credit when applying for credit cards. Listen, better credit doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. I've helped hundreds of people better their credit and their overall financial situation by applying a simple set of instructions that anyone can follow. Call me today, 1-800-988-9184. That's Kathy Washington, your financial impact coach, at 1-800-988-9184. Don't delay. Call today.
We're back, and we're still talking about the importance of knowing your person, your spouse, your loved one, your significant other, credit score. Mm-hmm. And I know, Dr. T, you wanted to go back to
So Gil when you were talking about credit, you said God even works off credit, and that triggers something, because when I thought about that, credit with God, that's why when things are going well, we should always be in worship and praise and storing up, so that when things happen, we can always pull back, because oftentimes when something immediately happens, our first thought isn't to pray and worship God, is to react. But when you have relationship with God and you gain some credit with him, some relationship, you become his friend, he'll begin to show you some things, and when things happen, he'll begin to speak to you and things like that. So when you said even God gives you credit, yes, we do have credit with God when we to where things are stored up. And God is the only person I know that gives to you all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Now that's what you talk about credit, whether it's good or bad credit. Still give unto you all the time.
And listen, for the listeners out there, listen, it's not a perfect situation. And my prayer always when I get up is, God, thank you for this new mercy and this new grace. Yeah. Right? Amen. Because it's renewed every day.
Amen.
You,
and a lot of times we take that for granted. A lot of times we carry on what happened yesterday into today because we worry, and that's because our trust is not there.
Come on, this is the day, right?
This is the day.
Yeah, but this is the day.
This is the day the Lord gave you.
Made. Come on,
we all right. This is the day the Lord gave you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is the day.
So
in this day, let's do it today.
In this day.
Yeah,
so when you have and so over time, right? Over the relationship with God, you got to store up that credit. Yeah. You got to start trusting him when you can't trust him, and then remember, right, when he brings you out of it.
But wait, you just said trust though, Gil. So that also, when trust means that I trust you, God, in the good, the bad, and the ugly. I trust you when it's not going my way. I trust you when my goals don't line up. I trust you when my credit is jacked up and I need a little help. I trust you. So I like that you said trust there, because oftentimes we put our trust in Capital One, in Visa, in somebody else, because we trust Express. Come on, Amex. Purple, gray, the purple, the gold, and the silver. Come on, Amex. But I say all that. Oftentimes we put our trust in people, places, and things, but never in God.
And that to your point, when you're picking a mate, when you're choosing a mate, and it's a choice. You know, whether you fall in love and she everything that you want her to be, and you know that's the best that you've ever had in your life, and maybe that's the guy that you went out and saw in high school and you finally got him. Whatever it is, I'm here to tell you that it's got to be more than love. You understand what I'm saying? So you love ain't going. Love ain't.
So, but what does it have to be if it's more than love?
It has to be.
What?
It has
Love got to do with it,
right? It has to be about. It has to be the things of this world. You got to think about credit.
Yeah.
You got to think about how you're going to raise kids. You got to have a conversation about who's going to keep what in the house and things of that nature, and understand that it's not gender roles. Quit trying to do cookie cutter things because what happened with your grandmama and granddaddy ain't the time that you living in.
That's real.
And so when you ask her about credit and she gets a little nervous because she want to buy another bag and she afraid that you're gonna cut off her credit card, that y'all ain't in that space. That ain't the one. So when you have these conversations, like fellas, cannot stop being afraid to have a conversation with her about financing. And if she
why are they afraid? Why are men afraid and why are women afraid to talk to about their man or their mate or their spouse? Men are
afraid because there's a stereotype that's been given over time that women are sack chasers. Like that women only gonna come and get your money. They just want you to take care of them. Like there's been this stereotype, this cloud in the world for so many years that, you know, men was raised under that. Boy, don't get that girl all your money. Boy, don't do this, don't do that. And it was an ignorant way of this, you know, just telling men on how to not trust the woman that they have. And I'm just going to be specific in my community that, you know, I was raised in, and how I helped change. We're changing that narrative is because of the fact that that's your helpmeet. That's your woman. That's the person who is going to multiply everything that you give to her. And that's the thing about having kingdom conversations and having culture conversations.
But see, you have to get with somebody who's willing to grow and to multiply and learn. Just because you're with someone and you might have bad credit, you have to be able to be mature enough to say, you know what, let's work on this. Let's call Regina so she can help us with credit repair. Let's get educated. Oftentimes, because we're not taught about credit, we continue that generation of I'm gonna spend everything I got. We have been taught as consumers to keep consuming because for whatever reason we may not have had it in the past, and now we got a couple of dollars we trying to flodge instead of saying, let me save this, let me store up, let's see how we gonna build tomorrow and not just eat today.
That's why I love these millennials.
The Bible says teach a man how to fish, he gonna eat every day. Give him a fish, he gonna eat for the day. So the Bible don't say that. That's the Bible of Teresa. Y'all hear that? That's
but
not
this brings it to the point with this. See, I've been letting them talk. I've been letting them chat together.
Let's get it.
But I'm gonna just bring you my perspective
from
the current
home.
point. Okay,
come on.
From the current point, the Queen of Car Loans that puts you into a new or used vehicle. Majority of my customers have boost credit, but I do get people that have great credit, right? But I'm talking to the ones, and I did the one at the today's topic of the importance of knowing your person's credit score for this reason behind cars, right? You know what you're dealing with. How do you help them improve? If that person has, or your spouse or your loved one has bad credit, right? One of y'all need to have credit. One of y'all, okay? If your spouse doesn't have, they have bad credit, boost credit, how are you going to help them with their situation? You know, one is, you have a credit card? You can have them be an authorized user. Piggyback with them. I mean, put them on your credit card, right? Now, you may say, you know, I love my spouse. Maybe I don't trust my spouse with my credit card. You know, I've had married folks that say that. And I'm like, y'all married, y'all won. But they say, well, I don't trust them. Well, you know what you can do?
Man, all married folk ain't married.
Right,
That's a whole nother session.
But give them put them on the credit card. But hold the credit card. They don't have to know that they even on the credit card. You can, if you have their social.
And most dudes won't even know.
Right. You can add them. The credit card come, you hold the credit card. If you're paying the bill, you hold the credit card. Dr. T over there rolling her eyes, but I'm giving you the queen perspective because too many times I have married folks coming to buy a car.
Come on, talk about it.
And I say to them, okay, who's the car going? Whose name is it going to? What's going to her name? Well, if she needs you, are you going to co-sign? Well, no, it's in her car. Y'all won. So I do say piggyback, yeah,
you
because
trying to
that
get into
person's
a
not
whole nother
responsible,
show,
right?
She getting into another show.
And if you don't feel comfortable with putting that person on your credit card and you don't want to piggyback them, it's what you call a secure card. You know, we're going to get Dr. T because she over there.
I'm just
No, I'm just saying, no, it's a whole nother show.
I'm just
Listen,
smiling.
you may not be married, but you hitting on some things that married folk
So that's-
like that need to know that you're married.
But-
that it is a couple, that you are a team. And sometimes people can be married for so long, they lose sight of that. They get to the car dealership, and then he goes and say, yeah, that's her car. Okay, that's not what the judge gonna say.
But
if you
that's
decide
what
to place
saying.
it to the end, and
But
I know, and
they're
that's what I'm saying.
It's
Like
not
it
her
just
car, it's your car.
So
We need to change
everybody's
that.
relationship is set up differently. So you're right.
But
You're right.
at some point in time, if you're saying to that person, you know, that's her car. No, you're gonna ride your butt in that car.
Right.
At some point in time, you're gonna put gas in that car.
It ain't a car in my
But
driveway.
if-
I ain't got the keys
But
to.
if you don't want to put them on your credit card as a piggyback, have them get a secure card where they're putting their own money.
But there's
with
a
the
whole
credit
conversation
union.
about
Right.
that, though,
Well, let me
Regina.
finish.
I'm not.
Let me finish.
Hey, I'm done.
You know, I let y'all the married folks talk. Let me just give you the points. What I'm seeing when they come into the dealership.
Okay.
Get them a secure card. If they don't have that $500, that $250, that $300 to start that, and that's just on the low end for the secure card. Secure card is where you're borrowing against your own money, and they report to the company, finance company, the bank, the credit union, reports to your credit report. And then you buy an item or get gas, pay a bill. You could, like Gil said, if your limit's 500, right? Or 1,000, I don't believe in the 30% rule. The internet says 30% rule, but you want to keep it at 10%, 10 or 15%. 10 or 15% of whatever your limit is. And then some companies, like Capital One, but the company that I'm an agent at, we have a secure card, which eventually they will turn into a credit card. So you want that. Of course, I let them give the marriage part, right? But I had to put the queen part in here. One more last thing. If you need to get your credit repaired, you can call the queen. Because right now, Joe Lunghamer and, of course, the queen, we have a community program. If you buy a car from the queen, we're automatically going to enroll you in credit repair if you need it. If you need it.
That's solid.
But go ahead, Dr. T.
I don't have anything.
Yes, you do, because I got to get your perspective. Oh,
no, I'm just listening. Honestly, seriously,
No.
I'm just listening.
You know these behind the
I've
scenes is
always
rolling.
said that relationships are different. So what works for your household may not work for mine. So as you were talking about, for that spouse and the husband and wife, maybe they should get a a secure card and all of that. But
I said piggyback.
Yeah,
add that person's to your credit card.
Exactly. And so my thought process, and I had to high five Gil because it ain't a car in my driveway that I ain't got a key to. It ain't a card in Fred's pocket or a card in my pocket that he doesn't have access to. So when you talk about partnerships, we're partners in everything. So there's not anything that he has or lack in that I'm not going to step in and help.
But it's not
But
like
I
that
said
in every household.
and that was my disclaimer in the very beginning, that all households doesn't work the same. What works for yours doesn't work. You may not work for mine, but that doesn't mean that your household is inefficient. So for any person who may feel like there's a issue with credit, then I do think that you should help your spouse get that together. So adding for a secure card just to get them, they credit cleared up. Because I think if my credit bad, Fred credit bad.
But I think, like, in the aspect of just relationships and period, you know what I'm saying? And when you're just talking about marriage, and like you said, everybody's household is different. But then there's some things that's just factual.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that's just kingdom, and God ain't changing on that.
He ain't moving.
He ain't budging.
He ain't doing
You know what I'm saying? So that when that two shall become one, when you start thinking about the aspects of that happens at intercourse. That doesn't happen when you put the ring on the finger.
Absolutely.
So while you just out here consummating your whatever with whoever, you know what I'm saying? You need to understand the fact
We got
that
a little serious.
you know what I'm saying? You got to be specific in that. And so when that merger of the two become one, that's a choice that you making. That's the first thing. So then when you put the ring on the finger, don't get side-eyed and just thinking that you just doing it because out of your own wisdom. Like, you didn't choose it. You didn't wake up as a baby waking up saying 20 years from now I'm going to marry such and such, such and such. You married. And so I tell folks, even though I'm married, I tell my single friends, hey, take your time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you know that she got you and she covered you in all 4 seasons before you start saying, I can love her like the wife, like Christ loved the church, because that's the standard for you. Like, there is no shade for you, sir. You know, your shade is God. And if you ain't about to tune up your antennas and cover her wholly in that, and that's not just financially. God's obligation to covering your wife is spiritually like a priest.
That is you are a priest.
We add so many other things to that and saying, I got to be able to want to pay all this. I got to be the one to pay all the bills. No. You got to connect with God, get the vision, and make sure you spread it through your household. That's the job. So when you go to the dealership and you see Regina, I hope y'all stop saying that's her car.
No, they're not saying that.
I just hope they just, that's my prayer.
Unless the wife, they're not saying that unless the wife, if the wife is buying the car for the spouse, listen to me. If the wife is buying the car for the spouse or the significant other, that's when it's we. We're together. We're one. Because they're waiting for that spouse to sign on the dotted line for the car because they can't buy it. Then they're together. But when something happens, then they become, I get so many phone calls after the fact. We're not together. We're not doing this. The car is in my spouse's name and we're divorced. What do we do? It's like,
oh man!
That's why I got to go back. That's the importance of what you both having your credit together.
Have that conversation. But we'll be right back. We're going to be talking about highlighting businesses in the community and surrounding areas. We'll be right back.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Hi, I'm Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
I'm Dr. Teresa Moore.
And I'm Gil Gary.
Together, we are teaming up to bring massive value to the community when it comes to cars, credit, and mental health.
Finances and mental health are big topics these days, and our goal is to help you take both to the next level.
Tune in weekly from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. for in-depth conversations, news you can use, and special guests every Saturday morning.
On DetroitPraiseNetwork.com, 98.3, 99.9, or 105.9 HD2.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
Are you paying high interest rates on a car loan? Do you desire to purchase a home, but you're unable to get approved? Perhaps you're repeatedly getting denied for credit when applying for credit cards. Listen, better credit doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. I've helped hundreds of people better their credit and their overall financial situation by applying a simple set of instructions that anyone can follow. Call me today, 1-800-988-9184. That's Kathy Washington, your financial impact coach, at 1-800-988-9184. Don't delay. Call today.
You're still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and this is our favorite part of the show where we highlight businesses. So today we are highlighting Jamisha Barber. She has Prolific Decor and More LLC. That's Prolific Decor and More LLC. She's phone number is 248-805-9003. She does everything from event decorating to party rentals. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as Prolific Decor and More LLC. She specializes in custom balloon columns. She also does decorating the room. She sets the stages. So if anyone is having a party, a wedding, a baby shower, and you're in need of decor, please reach out to Jamisha Barber at Prolific Decor and More LLC, 248-805-9003, and let her get you together.
Man, listen, Box Boys Moving. Dre Jeter. Telephone number 248-986-4083 or booking at boxboysmoving.com. When you need somebody to move you from state to state, local, need them to take due care and caution of the items that you have, this is the moving company for you. Box Boys Moving. You can see them on Facebook, on Instagram. Again, that telephone number is 248-986-4083. And I personally used them and reached out on several moves. Even if you have a estate sale and you need to clear some things out, you know how expensive those items could be. They have bubble wrap. They wrap mirrors and clothing. And they're very gentle with your items and the precious things that you have. Again, Box Boys Moving. You can see them on Facebook, Instagram. I think they even got a YouTube behind the scenes just to show you what's up with them. So it's Dre Jeter, Box Boys Moving. What you got over there, G?
So I have Venus Muse Bartending Services. Owner is Lakeisha Leonard. They call her Nikki. Mm-hmm. She has been doing mobile bartending for 20 years. Now she has her own company, which they've been around for 5 years. They specialize in weddings, anniversary parties, birthday parties, graduations, corporate events, meetings, fundraiser, girls' night out, and many parties. Many parties, I guess, are people eating less. I don't know. But that's what she specializes in. And She brings their own alcohol. Top-notch alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
She also has Venus Muse Bartending School. Professionally trained bartenders, training bartenders around the Detroit metro area, Oakland County, Wayne County, Macomb County. Participants doing the program will have the ability, after they're done, to create cocktails, proper serving etiquette, speed. I don't know what. I guess maybe speed and making
serving drinks, making drinks. Yeah.
Tip certified. I don't know what tip certified is, but
give her some tips.
You know, but alcohol awareness. Now I like the alcohol awareness and organizational skills, and the last, job placement. So if you're looking for that job after the fact, after you go through Venus Muse Bartending Schools, she has a company or herself or who she has relationships with is going to be able to place you at that perfect spot.
Man, highly recommended. I've had a chance to see her grow. She grew Charlene's to where it is right now. She grew that business just by her bartending skills. But then I actually got a chance to sit on some of those classes, and she really is heavy on making sure that you're not overpouring and making sure that the right amount of alcohol is going into the drinks, and very cautious of not making sure people leave there inebriated but ready to, can move on. So
then you can find Venus Muse Bartending on Facebook and Instagram. So you're looking for service, inbox on Facebook or Instagram.
Our next business we are highlighting is Angel Vasquez. He is a real estate agent with Keller Williams Professionals in Plymouth, Michigan. His phone number is 313-424-8299. He can also be reached at angel.vasquez@chadj.com. If you're looking to purchase a home or just in the market and you're looking to do something soon, please reach out to Angel Vasquez at 313-424-8299.
So this business I'm excited about because they do a lot of work in the Pontiac community in their headquarters. I say their headquarters is in Pontiac, Irving Automotive. They specialize in parts. They have plants across the United States of America. They have one in Del Rio, Texas. They have two in Acuna, Mexico, and also in Sabinas, Mexico. Reason why I want to highlight them is because they work with individuals who are returning home, but then also may have something on their record and help you to restore yourself back into the community. Not a lot of businesses do that. And so they understand that everybody makes mistakes, but you need finances to take care of your family. And so they give these jobs out. So Irvin Automotive, You can do irvinproducts.com. That's IRVINPRODUCTS.com. And their headquarters is in Pontiac, Michigan. Check them out.
Where are they located?
Right there, Centerpoint 2600 Centerpoint Parkway, Pontiac, Michigan. That's 2600 Centerpoint Parkway, Michigan. And again, the headquarters is in Pontiac, Michigan, baby.
Headed up in Pontiac. So next business I want to highlight is actually my print company that I have been using for the last 25 years, Professional Instant Printing. They're celebrating 40 years in business. They're located at 949 West Huron, Waterford, Michigan, 48328. 949 West Huron, Waterford, Michigan, 48328. Their telephone number is 248-335-1117. 248-335-1117, or you can go to their website, professionalinstantprinting.com. Proinstantprinting.com. Correct myself, proinstantprinting.com. But they specialize, they do offset, full color, booklets, invitation, raffle tickets, programs, forms, business cards, letterhead, envelopes. You can use their fax machine, color copies, postcards. I mean, they do flyers, banners, tickets, invitation, posters, club flyers.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. Appointment cards. You name it, they can do it. They've been around since 1980. They're like family to me. But, I'm also looking for another company for a sad note, just to give somebody else business. I know I kind of put two in one, but I am. I know Dr. T actually referred me to someone that does a little bit on the side. But, yeah, Professional Instant Printing.
The next business is Pathways 2 Christian Counseling Center. So I'm also a contractor with Pathways 2. So if you are looking for counseling, please reach out. The owner is Deborah Loving. The address is 11662 Martin Road. That's Warren, Michigan, 48093. The phone number is 586-558-6868. Again, that's Pathways 2 Christian Counseling Center. If you are in need of therapy, please reach out to Pathways today. Or if you are a therapist and you are interested in working with Pathways 2 Christian Center, please dial 586-558-6868 and speak to Deborah Loving.
Deborah Loving. I like that, man. That sounds like that's you just right waiting on me to just.
I'm laughing, y'all. I wish I could see what's happening in the studio.
Listen, Deborah Loving.
Gil is in here having playing with the airplane. But shout out to Deb Loving again, the owner of Pathway 2 Christian Counseling Center in Warren, Michigan. Please reach out if you are interested in counseling services or if you are a therapist and in need of a contractual position. Pathways 2 Christian Counseling Center, 586-558-6868.
So my next business is Mr. Cole World, DJ Cole. Cole World Entertainment has been in business for the last decade. His telephone number is 248-238-5452. That's 248-238-5452. Or you can email him at DJ Cole, COLE World, WORLD @gmail.com. He specializes in weddings. He does cabarets. I mean, the guy is just all over the place. As a matter of fact, he teaches on the side. I've been a battle DJ since I was about 13 years old, so he helped me transition
Did you say
over.
A battle DJ?
Oh yeah, that's where it started.
DJ. Did you know that, Regina?
Oh, that's when you talk to another DJ through turntables. That's
I
what
thought
that
y'all
is.
was like, okay.
No, that's it. No, you ain't heard of DJ Kubert? Man, come on, man. Y'all ain't no real hip hop, but I got you. DJ Cole World. Holla at it.
Are you
Go
done?
ahead.
I'm sorry.
I'm done. Go
okay,
ahead.
I apologize, but we kind of.
I'm posting these behind the scenes. Don't worry about it.
So listen. We have community resource for housing, free housing services, open house. It's third Wednesday of the month, 4 to 6 at the Pontiac Public Library, 60 East Pike Street. Pontiac, Michigan. Again, free housing service open house in person, third Wednesday of the month, 4 to 6 p.m. Pontiac Public Library, 6 East Pontiac Street, Pontiac, Michigan.
Pike.
Virtual first Tuesday of the month, 4 to 6. You can contact them for the Zoom number, but that number is 248 if you want to call an RSVP, which you should with questions, 248-920-6000, extension 7701, 248-920-6000, extension 7701. Tenants, landlords welcome rent payment problems, recertification, lease, repairs, other disputes, and much more. So in person, third Wednesday of the month, 4 to 6, and Zoom, first Tuesday of the month, 4 to 6. Everybody's going through something, so the reason I put that out there, because I have somebody that's going through something that needs the services, so I figured I would put it out there. We had a great show today, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good week.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
Hey, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. And don't forget about that word of the day, word of the week.
Goals.
Goals.
Don't set them goals.
Set them goals. Have a good week.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.